Casio are at it again, making some incredibly cheap alternatives to some of the market's biggest players. Seiko who? This is one of their latest releases. Hi guys, my name is Jason and I'm your watch guy today. We have finally got Casio back on the channel. It's been a hot minute, but the Japanese wizards are back at it and they've released some new incredible watches and I have bought one to show you guys. This one would definitely make a killer alternative to a big, bold dive watch, just like the Seiko Monster, but for only $70. I know I've got your attention, so let's get into it. Casio have really been on a hot streak lately. Some of their new releases are just no-brainers. This is definitely one of them for me. This one gives me a yellow Seiko Monster type of vibe, but with some more wearable dimensions and a much more wallet-friendly price. I think the yellow and black combo works really well, but they do also have some other colour variants if you'd like to have a look. The casing is fully stainless steel. There is some resin present, but thankfully they've only stuck to the bezel on this one. It's also fitted with a lovely aluminium bezel insert. I really enjoy the bezel on this piece. With the mixture of the resin and the aluminium insert, we have a mixture of satin and matte effect, as well as a lovely distinction to the 15-minute counter. It is a 60-click unidirectional bezel and it has some really usable grip to that outer edge. This one has a very rugged gear-like shape to it. I think it really does add to the sporty aesthetic while also adding utility to the piece itself. I think it's only right we get into some dimensions now. It's 43.9 millimeters in diameter, a very slim 10.4 millimeters thick. Lug to lug is 46.4 millimeters, and these lugs are 22 mil. With this being a dive style sports watch, you'd expect at least 100 meters water resistance, but that is kind of surprising considering the crown that's hidden behind these crown guards is only a push-pull crown. We also have a pressed case back and a mineral crystal. I think they've done really well to provide us with this water resistance. The case itself is really thin and that makes this very usable in different situations. One of the big draws to this piece is the super bright dial and that yellow and black aspect. That yellow dial accents the black bezel perfectly for me, and the other options also aren't that bad. The baby blue dial is definitely just as summery, whilst the green and the darker blue definitely give us a more reserved option. The dial is quite simple, but we do have bold indices and a printed minute track. As well as that, the Casio logo is printed to the 12 o'clock. The indices do stand off the dial and give an applied effect. Time will tell how good this lume is though. The handset has an arrowhead style to it, is quite bold and has a stainless steel border. Again, with it being such a bold handset, it really does add to the legibility of the watch. This watch is also provided with a day-date indicator that definitely does unbalance the dial, but I think we expect it from Casio. It's definitely about time that we get into the Lume Shot.
Here's the lume on the Casio, and honestly, it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Now, I'll be completely honest, the indices aren't as well loomed as you would like for a higher end watch. For something that comes in around $70 though, it's not bad at all. It's probably around the type of area that you look at on AliExpress. Maybe a little bit better with the consistency, but overall, I definitely think this one passes. Out of 10, I'd probably rate this at around a 6 mark, if I'm being completely fair. However, all the aspects are loomed, which is really nice to see, and it's not a bad quality.
So right about here is where I usually talk to you about the bracelet, but we're going to change it up a little bit today, and I'm going to go straight into the wrist shot, and then we'll talk about the bracelet later on. So let's see how this looks on my 6¼ inch wrist.
Now the Lume Shot definitely shocked me a bit more than it should have because it was expected to be pretty poor, but moving on to this wrist shot, one thing that I will note, I've really enjoyed wearing the watch. As 70 quid watches go, it's not bad at all. One thing I will say though is due to this bracelet and it not having many micro adjustments, only 2 on this clasp, it's a little bit of a more awkward wear because I can't get the perfect fit. Now I've probably been spoiled with the watches I've been wearing lately. They are much higher quality and much higher prices, but I feel like this one isn't going to be that perfect fit for everyone. For some people you'll get lucky, for others you may be wearing a little bit tight or a little bit loose. Maybe something that you look to change the band on.
Right, So I missed the bracelet out of my usual review section, and that's because it is the main feature to my moan section. I absolutely hate it. It's a pressed link bracelet, and honestly, I hate sizing these even more than pin and collar links. Maybe a discussion for the comments which one's worse. It doesn't have fitted end links, and that definitely makes the watch look a little bit more cheap. This one is definitely the type that will pluck your arm hairs for you, and there are only 2 levels of micro adjustment to it. So it's pretty tough getting the right fit on wrist. Moving on from the bracelet, this dial is absolutely lovely. I just can't shake the feeling that if we had black borders to the indices and handset, this would be a level above. It really distinguished the piece overall. Everything considered, for $70, this is one hell of a watch. Exactly what I expect or want from Casio, and it's probably the best 70 quid that I've spent all year round. More of this, please, Casio. Thanks for watching this one, guys. I really appreciate you sticking with me to this point. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Does this heighten your love for Casio as it does mine? Again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.